What's up, all of you beautiful subscribers? Welcome back to the Chapple Show. So we got another billionaire entrepreneurship investing strategy video. We're going to cover Mark Zuckerberg today. The founder of Facebook, the Giga Giant. I think he's the 5th richest person in the United States, if not the world right now, on paper at least. I think he's worth, $50 billion, somewhere around there. So he's probably a good person to listen to, and we're going to cover some of his strategies, how he built Facebook, why he implemented certain things into the business, and some of the mindset stuff. So we're going to cover number one. The very first thing that he talks about here is listen to users. Listen to the users. Listen to your customers, I guess. And I guess Facebook actually, there's some sort of joke in here where you can listen to users like spying on, Facebook kind of takes all your information and kind of spies on you and uses that to make money. But listen to your users in terms of how to improve your product. And this was something that I guess it's going to tie into point number 2 here, but listen to users in terms of how to improve your product. Especially, I see this a lot with app developers and, giant tech people. Again, this is from, I think, Evan Spiegel of Snapchat. I'm going to talk about him, or I've already talked about him, depending on, what order these videos go in. But same thing from him, is listen to the users and adapt to what the users want to have implemented into the app. And so I'm not talking about if you're just starting a business, all right? If you're just starting a business, you're starting an app and you have 100 users and one of them says, hey, I don't like this part of your website. It doesn't mean that you should change the entire website to conform to that one user's specific needs, to what they want. But if you get, if you have 100 users on your website and maybe 50 of them are saying, hey, I would like this, then it's time to listen. And this is something that Facebook has done really well, especially with with the business portion of aspect. That's how they make money, is people buy ads on Facebook and target specific people. And that is something that they've listened to the criticisms of people like me and all the marketers that they're saying, hey, I want really specific targeting here, and then they implemented that, and that's actually the sole reason in my mind why Facebook became such a valuable company, is because they had people like me trying to sell stuff online, and we wanted really specific targeting methods. They gave that to us, and it became the #1 ad platform in the world for targeting people. That's one of the reasons. That's probably the biggest reason why Facebook is successful in making tons of money today, is because they were listening to people like me, the paying. I'm the paying customer for Facebook. I use Facebook ads. So I'm a Facebook customer. Most of the other people are users who just use the app for free and get targeted by people like me. All right? So listen to the users, listen to the customers, and I guess that kind of goes into the next thing here, which is customer experience. Customer EXP. I guess that's the #1 thing here. #1 most important thing when you're building a business is customer experience. This is in terms of what Mark Zuckerberg thinks. Make the user experience so awesome that people will want to keep using it and never leave the app. All right? Focus on your customers. Make them happy. They will come back and they will help you grow your business organically. Focus on customers. So if this is a bricks and mortar business, same thing. I actually go to there's a Quiznos, not too far from here, that I go to often, all right? Several days a week. Almost, I guess 5 days a week sometimes. All right, sometimes less, sometimes more. But whenever I go in, they already know my order now. I've been going there for a few weeks now. They know my favorite order when I walk in. The owner says hi and everything, gives me, a little bit of a discount, and I'm happy. That's one of the reasons why I go back, is because it's a good experience that I have there. If I had walked in there the first time and, the person making the food is a dick, and, the order and the owner, whatever, miscalculates my food and charges me an extra $1 or an extra $5 or whatever it may be, I might have not have gone back that first time. I might have not gone back after that. But because they were so nice and everything was good and it's a good environment, I go back, and that makes the business grow and more profitable. That's how you should run your business too. Make your customers happy. They will come back. Then they will organically grow your business. Okay? Customer experience is #1. All right, we're going to move on here to, this is kind of a more macro thing here, which is be a world changer. Be a world changer. So this is just for people that are entrepreneurs like just in general here. I mean, be a world changer. Do what you can to, whether it's, here's the deal. It's world changer, that sounds like a big deal here, but it could be very small. It could be something like, fixing one problem for one small business down the street. You're changing the world for that business. All right, it could be, doing something for your entire city. Maybe you start a business and it's a food delivery service that you don't have because you're in a rural town or something. And so, you make money from that and you've changed the world in your own city. And then, maybe you build an app and you're changing the world. You're the Amazon, you're the Facebook, where you are actually changing the entire world as a whole. But here's the deal. Is that in order to be a successful business, you do have to change the world in some sort of way. All right? And usually, this is actually from Elon Musk, is that, the bigger the problem you are willing to solve, the more you will be rewarded for it. And so, something like Bill Gates, richest man in the world, he solved he didn't even solve, it wasn't even a big problem, but he revolutionized an entire industry that we didn't know that we needed, which was personal computing. He did that, all right? And he fixed a giant problem. Now everyone has computers at home. They use it for work, they use it for Facebook, they use it for whatever it may be. He solved a giant problem. Now people can connect from all over the world because of someone like Bill Gates. And obviously, like, Tim Berners-Lee invented the internet a little bit later, but we're not going to get into that here. Actually, Tim Berners-Lee, I don't know if he actually made a lot of money for actually connecting the internet, or like making that first connection. I'm not quite sure if I know that the military also first of all, who actually made the internet? Was it the US military in like the 50s? And then Tim Berners-Lee used that infrastructure to make it public? I believe that's what happened here. That's a whole different story here. But anyways, be a world changer. And also too, if you're a world changer and that's going to make you happy. That's going to make you That's going to make you feel better about yourself and your life and your legacy. One of the things that I really focus on and have started focusing on now is that I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave a big mark on this world. I don't want to live... I know this is kind of funny. This is a tangent here, but this is why you guys listen, right? For my tangents. Was that I was thinking, this was even a few months ago, about how, like, I can be a solopreneur, make millions of dollars, and make whatever $5-10 million by the time I'm 40 potentially, right? And live a good life, but at the end of the day, didn't change the world and only lived a good life. All right. Now, for me, there's this quote from Game of Thrones, which I may have mentioned before. It was that it happened a few weeks ago, and it was, when you're a solopreneur, your job is to kind of leech off what others have done. In a way, except do it in your own way, in your own creative way, and make money from it. So if you're selling stuff on Amazon, you're piggybacking off of Amazon. If you're selling, again, affiliate marketing, you're using others' products and selling that and making a profit for yourself. If you're selling, I don't know, whatever it may be, if you're a solopreneur, you're usually piggybacking off the success of other people, which is completely cool, and I recommend that you guys do that, especially when you start, actually. When you start building a business, it might be best to actually set up your own Shopify store or sell on Amazon before you actually branch out to your own full-blown entrepreneurship business. But there's this quote from Game of Thrones that happened recently, and it's from Samwell Tarly, and it was, the entire show, for the first 6 seasons, he always dreamed of being I think it's called a maester, and which is essentially someone that runs a library, is very respected and intelligent, reads a lot of books and so on. And then in the last episode, or last 2 episodes, it was he left, and then his wife asked him why he's leaving. I thought you always wanted to be a maester. And then he said, you know what, I'm really tired of reading about the achievements of better men. And I think that quote is something that, I'm probably going to live by that quote for a long time. I'm tired of reading about the achievements of better men. And I think that, I want to be a world changer. I don't know if you guys want to. Maybe you guys are okay. I know a lot of my friends, they're totally okay with 9-to-5 job, making 80 grand a year for the rest of their life with a pension. And I don't have that in me. I don't. And if you're watching this, I'm guessing you don't either. So be a world changer in some sort of way. Anyways, we're going to move on here. I talked about that point for too long here. Where's my marker? Did I just put that in my pocket? Where's my marker go? My marker is in my pocket. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next point here, which is, well, this is kind of funny for Facebook, and this is network. This is important for most businesses, I would say, but any sort of big successful business is partnered with some other business in some sort of way. I know that you guys probably don't realize this, but every giant business out there is partnered with another one in some sort of way. So, for example, Apple partnered with tons of companies, but one of their biggest partners early on was Microsoft, their competitor. Microsoft Office was put on Apple. You guys probably haven't really connected that in your head. Like, wait a second here, Apple has partnered with Microsoft, and maybe not equity, but in terms of like being a business partner, someone that they do business with. Two of the most fierce competitors ever. Apple, Steve Jobs, didn't really get along with Bill Gates, although they kind of did later in their life. But they were competitors, but they worked together in some sort of way. They networked, and they were both able to advance their companies because they were able to work together. All right, and so that's kind of what networking is. So when you start off small, here's another example too, actually. So people don't really realize this. There's a company which a lot of you probably heard of, but you don't really know what it is. Oracle. Okay, so Oracle is a giant tech company in Silicon Valley, and almost every other single online internet company has used Oracle at some point in its life. All right, Oracle might be the most influential company of the past 40 years, and people don't really realize it. They have helped every other tech company, almost every other one, build their own company through selling databases and security and things along those lines. So, everyone kind of had to network with Oracle at some point. So when you're starting off small, though, we're going to bring this back here. When you're starting off small, when you are starting off as a small business, one of the best things you can do is just network with other people, network with other businesses to help you guys grow together. All right, it doesn't have to be a competitor. If I'm an e-commerce marketplace, maybe I go and contact some local shop owner down the street, ask them, hey, by the way, I'm going to do this. Ask them, hey, do you want to sell stuff on my store? I won't take any fees, whatever, or I'll take a very little fee or whatever. Sell stuff online, you make a profit, I make a profit. It's good for both of us. And all you have to do is just ship your product. But I can't talk about this. I cannot talk about this, about the shipping thing. I found a way for me within my budget to ship stuff to certain places that Amazon hasn't covered yet within one day. I cannot talk about how I'm going to do it because I think it's such a good idea. Seriously, this could be the X factor of my company here. I cannot talk about it. So, God damn it. I wish I could, though. Anyways, we're going to move on here to the next point, which is, we're going to move on to number 5, which is you are what you do. All right? But I think it's more of you are what you spend your time doing. That's what I've written down here, but you are what you do. Think about this. And this goes back to work ethic too. If you're building a business and you are working 8 hours, but you are spending, even 3 of those hours on YouTube or Facebook, and it's or Netflix or playing video games, all right? Then your company, you are what you do. You're half gamer and you're half company, and you're only working 4 or 5 hours a day versus someone like me who's out there working 12 hours a day, 12, 14, 16 hours a day, sometimes more than that. I'm going to be kicking your ass. You are what you do. So this can go back on the personal level too. So if you are a high school kid out there, you're a high school kid and all you do is you go to school and then you come home and you play video games for 8 hours, which is, I did that for a little bit, so I understand it, but you're more of a gamer. Are you going to get a 6-pack if you play video games all day, 8 hours a day, every day? Probably not. Maybe if you go to school all day, you spend 3 hours playing video games and then an hour working out and then 2 hours doing your homework, then you're going to be a little bit of a better student. You're going to probably be in better shape. You're going to look better. You're going to be more attractive to all the girls and boys out there. And you're going to still be a little bit of a gamer. So think about whatever you are spending your time doing right now. You're watching this video, which is an educational, entrepreneurship, motivational video, whatever you want to call it. This is passive learning, which is, this is what I did for years, watching videos similar to this. Although back when I was doing it, there weren't a lot of people like this. I mean, I don't think, like Gary Vee wasn't around, I wasn't around, you know, Ty Lopez wasn't around, freaking, all those, you know, big entrepreneurship people on YouTube, they weren't around, but I'd find a few out there. I'd always find like a Tony Robbins interview, but although he's not so much on entrepreneurship. But what I'm trying to say here is that, you know, if you're learning about business and you're spending a lot of time doing that, that's a really good thing. If you're watching these videos, that's a good thing. You're learning how to start a business, how to run a business, some tips and so on. But if you're, after this video, if you are just going to go play video games for 4 hours, then that's not good. I mean, you're trying to start a business and you're going to play video games on a Saturday night because it's a Saturday night and you think you should get Saturdays off. That's bad. You're not going to succeed if you have that mindset. That's just not what happens. So you are what you do. You are what you do when it comes to anything in life. Again, it's not just business. I mean, if you're eating chips all day and sitting on the couch all day and you don't work out, you're going to be fat because you are what you do. You are what you eat. You are what you do. And that's just how life is. So I think that's going to wrap this video up here. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Check out my Wealth Accelerator. If you like talks like this, you're going to like that program for sure, 100%. There's like 16 hours of content on there, so 14 hours, whatever it is. Check that out. Link is down in the description below. And I'd like to thank you very much for watching. You're all very beautiful people, and I'll see you guys in the next video.